Welcome to another episode of Echoes of Tradition, where we explore the depth of Igbo customs and how they evolve in today's world. Today, we'll be talking about the perception of IVF in Igbo culture. Now, for centuries, fertility has been a central aspect of Igbo society. The ability to bear children is not just a biological function, but a measure of societal worth in Igbo culture. Family continuity and ancestral honor are some of the major reasons why children are needed in Igbo culture. What happens when a natural conception becomes a challenge? With the rise of assisted reproductive technology like the IVF, more families now have an alternative. Yet, the cultural responses to this innovation remains mixed. Now, in Igbo culture, a lot of these have been accepted, some have not been accepted also. There are a lot of perspectives surrounding it in Igbo culture. Now, there are a lot of people who believe in it, there are a lot of people who don't believe in it, there are a lot of people who believe in it to some extent. There are a lot of people who don't believe everything concerning it. In many Igbo communities, children are seen as a divine blessing and a validation of marriage. Now, infertility, on the other hand, is often attributed to spiritual causes and ancestral displeasure or even personal misdeeds or health challenges. Historically, women who struggled with conception were encouraged to seek solutions through prayers, traditional medicine, or even polygamy. In this case, allowing the husband to marry multiple wives. Now, where the husband could get multiple wives to give birth for the family continuity. Now, the idea of scientific intervention through IVF challenges this long-held cultural norm. In Igbo tradition, lineage and inheritance are traced patrilineally, that means through the father's side. Now, this brings about another layer of concern when it comes to IVF, particularly regarding sperm or egg donation. If the sperm used in IVF is from another father, rather than the biological father of that particular child, does that child still belong to the lineage of the father, or is he an adopted child per se? And these are questions in Igbo culture requires an answer. For instance, if a man or a woman in a family, a man and a woman, they have like a boy and a girl, and they need to get extra boys, and possibly maybe the man's sperm has a problem, maybe he has medically, and he decides to give birth through IVF. That means in this case, he's going to choose a donor. Now, what happens? Is that child part of the family? Because in Igbo culture, see, I've said it before, it's patrilineal. So, because that guy now, when there's like a DNA test, the guy will actually not be born, but all the family will not come through the same father. That particular person will fail DNA test from the father. So, is the guy part of the family in terms of an Igbo culture? Because an Igbo culture, the family is among the patrilineal side, which is the bloodline of the kindred. So what happens in that situation? Like I said, it complicates the traditional understanding of ancestry and kinship. And this is a very serious debate in so many of the households in Igbo tradition. Now, but despite these concerns, IVF is gradually gaining a lot of acceptance, especially among the educated and the urban Igbo couples. Many couples now see it as a valid solution to infertility, and religious institutions are also beginning to adapt their teachings to accommodate assisted reproduction. Now, like I said, a lot of the Pentecostal churches, even the Orthodox, which is like the Catholic and the Anglican, also are in support of it. But they have limited support, especially like I said earlier on, when the IVF interferes with the natural order of things, especially when the donor is involved. Some people believe that there is a moral disorder in that regard, because does the child belong to the family or child belongs to that particular person? Another key issue is here the secrecy. Many couples who opt for the IVF do so quietly, fearing a societal judgment. In some cases, families insist that the child be presented as a natural birth, keeping the IVF process hidden in reality. Yes, this happens. A lot of the families do not want people to know that they are going through IVF. And sometimes the person travels. And then maybe when the person is like 6 months old pregnant, the person comes back and delivers. This is because most people don't want to feel like they were incapable of conceiving through the natural means and had to be assisted reproductively. The secrecy underscores the ongoing struggle between modern science and cultural expectations. There are also legal and religious perspectives also play a role in shaping all those opinions among the Igbo traditionalists. Now, under Nigerian law, IVF is legally recognized, and children born through the process have full rights to inheritance of their parents who they are born of. Now, the Catholic Church, which has strong influence in many Igbo communities, has expressed their own concern supporting IVF. Now, the Catholic Church have a stand. Now, provided that the fertilization is within the confines of marriage, no third-party donors are involved, they are good to go with that. And that's the position of like some other Orthodox churches. Pentecostal churches also, on the other hand, have more varied views, with some leaders openly supporting it while others label it as interference with God's will.